Okay, today we will be starting with this chapter. ये आपके मतलब इनिशियल चैप्टर्स का नेक्स्ट पार्ट रहेगा. And here we'll be studying this subsidiary book and cash book. Now, first of all, we'll start with the concept of subsidiary book, and then I will tell you that what subsidiary books are, and how cash book can be considered as a part of subsidiary book. Now, first of all, as we know that till now what we have done, we have learned how to pass journal entries in the books, how to prepare ledgers, and then how to prepare trial balance. Now, if we talk about the questions, we can see that we hardly have around 10-15 journal entries in a question, around 20-21 ledgers, and at most 17-18 accounts in trial balance finally, because some of the ledger gets tallied among themselves and gets closed. It is just a scenario of a question. Now, but if I talk about a particular business, they may have around 30-40 journal entries in a particular day, somewhere around 1200 journal entries in a month, and somewhere around 14,000 or 15,000 journal entries in a year, and there may be around 200-300 ledgers and around 160 accounts left in their trial balance. So it will be very difficult if a person wants to know the balance of a specific area. So for this reason, what we do, we prepare separate accounts in the books, and that separate account which records separate type of entries or transactions, and at any point of time a business can know a particular balance or the total figure from a particular type of transaction very conveniently. And this accounts, or you can say this books that we are preparing for separate type of transactions, is regarded as subsidiary book. Now just see what I've written. I've written that in a business, most of the transactions generally relates to receipts and payment of cash, sales of goods and their purchases. It is convenient to keep separate register for each class of transactions, one for receipt and one for payment of cash, one for purchase of goods and one for sale of goods. A register of this type is called the book of original entries, or books of prime entries, or subsidiary books. For transaction recorded in such books, there will be no journal entries. Matlab, in this books, we need not to pass journal entries, but we have to record the transactions. Now, after recording this transaction, journal entries are posted directly to the ledgers. The system of which transactions of this class are first recorded in the books specially meant for it, on the basis of which ledger accounts are then prepared, are known as practical system of bookkeeping, or in English system it can be termed as subsidiary books, because they are being used as a subsidiary to what we are doing in journals. All now, what are the different types of subsidiary books that are present? Now, for this, see this. In financial books, we have principal books of entries, and we have this subsidiary books. If we if I talk about what you mean by principal books of entries, the first principal book of entry is cash book, and the others are ledger. Now, instead of preparing this principal book of entry or journals, we are preparing what? We are preparing subsidiary books, and subsidiary books also have two parts. One is cash book, and the other is relating to all these accounts. What are the accounts? For credit purchase, we record all transactions under purchase day book. For credit sales, we record all transactions under sales day book. For items that were purchased on credit now returned, we are recording the transactions under purchase return day book. The items which we have sold on credit now gets returned to us will be recorded in sales return day book. For at the time of receiving bills, we record it at receivable if we are eligible to receive an amount against such bill. If we are accepting a bill of some other person for which we have to pay in future, it will be recorded in bills payable book. Now, all the entries which cannot be recorded in the above subsidiary parts will be recorded under journal proper. ठीक, now how sir, can you tell me some examples of journal entries that will be recorded in journal proper? Definitely. Like for example, if I say like purchase goods from Mohan rupees 1 lakh, किस books में entry करेंगे इसका?
Purchase.
The purchase day book.
Now if I say that goods of rupees 2 lakh has been sold to Ramesh.
Sales book.
Sales
day
book.
book, sir.
Sales day book.
Sales book.
Now if I say the goods that has been purchased earlier on credit are to be returned worth rupees 20,000.
Purchase return day
Purchase
book.
return book, sir.
In the same way,
Purchase
say,
return book.
like for example, if I say that machinery purchased from Ramesh rupees 5 lakhs, where to record this journal entry?
Journal proper.
It will be recorded in journal proper. If I say pass depreciate machinery at the rate 10%,
Journal proper.
Journal proper.
journal proper. If I say outstanding wages recorded,
Journal proper, sir.
journal proper again. That means journal proper
Journal
records what
proper.
type of entries? It records entries like, see, it records adjustment entries. Adjustment entries means entries by which we adjust the balance of one account with other. तो इसे हम adjustment entries कहते हैं. In journal proper, we write entries like rectification entries, the entries that are passed to rectify errors in the books. Okay, we record rectification entry in journal proper. We pass all types of closing entries and opening entries. Closing entry means the entries through which the balances in a particular year gets closed and transferred to the next year, and or the balances of nominal accounts are transferred to PL. तो हम उन entries को भी कहाँ से pass करेंगे? We'll be passing it through journal proper. So I am passing opening and closing journal entries or entries. This will be recorded through journal proper. Okay. Now, first of all, we'll start with cash book. Cash book can be of three types. The first category of cash book is known as simple cash book. It is nothing but a cash account that we prepare in ledger. Simply a cash account that we prepare in ledger. Okay, so we call it as simple cash book. Then we start with double column cash book, where along with cash we record transactions relating to bank or transactions relating to discount. Now, some of the people have a misconception that double column cash book means a cash book where only cash and bank columns are present. Let me tell you that double column cash book can be a cash book where we can see cash and discount column, where we can see bank and discount column. Okay, so there can be it has been named as double column cash book just because here we have two amount columns on both sides, that is as debit side as well as on the credit side. Then comes triple column cash book. Now here we have three columns. One cash, two bank column can be there. One cash, one bank, one discount column can be there. So there can be different type of combinations that we can see in triple column cash book. And finally, we have petty cash book. The third category, the fourth category of cash book is petty cash book. Now, first of all, the very important thing that you need to listen right now is that, okay, let me ask you something first, then I'll tell you. Anyone like Nidhi, you answer me. Do you know that cash book is regarded as journalized ledger?
I did not. I have not come across
You
like
haven't
this.
heard
I
about
did
this?
not hear. No, I did not hear.
Acha, anyone else who have heard that cash book is regarded as journalized ledger? Anyone else?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing, that cash book is actually a journalized ledger. Now, why I'm using this word journalized ledger? Because cash book have features of both journal as well as of that of ledger. How? Because the formatting of cash book is similar to that of ledger. What we do in ledger, we prepare bank date column particulars, then we prepare this journal folio, and then we prepare amount columns. In the same way, we prepare the format for cash book. But why we are using the word journalized? Now, you will tell me one question. Have you ever seen any cash book where we record transactions with narrations?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Have you ever recorded, have you ever written any narrations in your cash book?
We were supposed to, like, we were asked to announce.
But you haven't.
No, sir.
Nah. Now tell me why your teacher were asking you to write narrations in cash book? Because
In
that
cash
is the
book, sir.
feature of cash book.
Not in
Cash
cash book,
book
only
is a
in
journalized
journals.
ledger because cash book have all the features of a ledger, but here the entries are recorded along with narrations. That is never noticed in any ledger account. And from there I can ask, guys, please mute your mics. From there I can ask you one question, that just like if you are sitting in an interview and I am taking the interview, I'm the interviewer for you, and I asked you one thing, have you ever drawn any ledger? You say yes sir, I've drawn many times, because now you are feeling um, excited, you are feeling confident, because you are getting questions which are very easy for you, because you have scored 90, 95 in your plus 2, and you have done all this in your plus 2 and your first year of BB also. So you are feeling very confident. Then I asked, have you ever seen a ledger with narrations? Now the first instance that people, uh, the answers that we get from people is that no sir, ledger doesn't comes with narration. This is the point. You should answer like you have seen a ledger with a narration, and that is in case of simple column cash book. I told you na that simple column cash book is nothing but a cash account. But as it is a part of cash book, now we'll be preparing this cash book in simple column format, where we'll write all the entries along with narrations. Now, the second thing uh, that we are talking about, this is the part of cash book that I was explaining. Simple column only cash, double column it can come with cash bank, cash discount, triple column cash bank and discount columns. Now, uh, see this in cash book, at the time of recording, you need to remember this thing, as we can divide the entire ledger into two parts. This is the debit side of our account. I'm not drawing the format of cash book. I'm just telling you one thing which you can remember. This is the debit side of cash book. This is the credit side of cash book. Remember one thing, the debit side of cash book is known as receipt side. What we call it? We call it as receipt side.
Receipt side.
Whenever we receive anything, whenever we receive cash or bank, we record on this side of cash book. And this is the payment side of cash book. Whenever you see that in a particular transaction they use the word paid or payment has been made, will definitely come to this side and will record the transaction accordingly, because this is the payment side of cash book. Okay, now the second thing that we need to know about cash book is that cash book, simple column cash book, always have a debit balance. This cash book always have debit balance. That means the total of the debit side will always be greater than that of the credit side. Okay, because why, sir? Why a simple column cash book doesn't have a credit balance? Because the reason is very easy and very clear. If I ask you that if you have 100 rupees in your pocket, 100 rupees cash in your pocket, can you go to the market and can you pay everyone without making any dues from anyone more than 100 rupees? Can you buy items in cash uh, which have a worth more than 100? Or can you spend anything in cash more than 100 rupees if you have 100 rupees only in your pocket? I have an assumption of ceteris paribus. That means all other things remains constant. आपके साथ दोस्त नहीं है, वो पैसे नहीं देगा. You don't have ATM, you cannot withdraw it from bank. ठीक. If you have 100 rupees cash in your pocket, can you spend more than 100 rupees in cash? No.
No.
Either you can spend the entire 100 rupees or you can spend anything less than 100. And as a result of this, this basic reason, cash book cannot have a credit balance. It always have a debit balance, provided it is simple column cash book. Because in case of double column cash book, the bank column can have credit balance, because the current accounts in the bank are provided with a facility of OD, overdraft. In that case, you can overdraw the balance. Okay. Now the next thing is contra entry. This is very much necessary for you. Someone please tell me what you know about contra entry.
So a contra entry is a type of entry. It is written on the cash book where
both on the debit and credit
bank
side.
account will be where the amount for the bank account will be written in the column of the cash, and vice versa.
Anyone else?
Sir,
Okay,
sir, when can I try, sir?
Bolo.
so the entry
Sir,
which
when
affects
debit
the
credit, you go
Hello.
ahead. You go ahead first.
Hello. Nidhi, you tell me.
so the entry which affects both the cash and bank account, like
Which affects cash in bank account. Okay.
Sir, if credit and debit both sides affect the same account, then it could be a contra entry.
Good. Any entry that can affect both the sides of a same account simultaneously, then we call it as a contra entry. Why I'm asking this, because most of you have a tendency or have an idea that only the entries like cash to bank and bank to cash will be considered as contra entry, because this is the way the teachers in your plus 2 teaches you. They tells you that these are the two entries. In that, in case of these entries, we'll be passing, we'll be considering contra entry. We have to write C in case of in the column of journal folio, ठीक, and no narration is required. This type of thing has been told to you by your teachers. But now let me tell you one thing, that contra entry is not an entry that we see in cash book. We also notice the same entries in case of partnership accounts. Have you ever passed an entry like capital adjustment entry in case of goodwill, uh, where capital of one partner is adjusted against the other? In that case, what we do, like for example, if I have a journal entry like Ramesh capital account debit to Suresh capital account, and we are preparing a cash account in case of partnership, where we have different columns for each partner representing in a particular ledger. There you must have seen that you are recording a particular transaction on both the sides of the partnership of partner's capital account. Such type of entry is also regarded as contra entry. So for now, those who haven't studied partnership till now, for them the basic knowledge is that whenever you see a particular entry that can affect both the sides of the same account, why when how you can see that is it affecting both the sides or not? Just check whether the account whose name is appearing on the debit side or the name of the account which is appearing on the credit side, do you have the columns for both the accounts or not? If you have the amount column for both the accounts, for both the accounts in your given format, then it must be recorded on both the sides of the ledger, and such entries will be regarded as contra entry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now we'll do a particular question uh, on cash book. So I will start with this. Okay. Okay. Now we'll do this question. How to do this? Just see.
So could you just minimize this page? I need to see the question.
Yeah. I'm just showing it. Let me first complete this format for me. Okay. I'll be showing you everything regarding this question and the solution. At that point of time, you can copy it. Okay. Just wait for 2 minutes. Let me do this. Okay. First, we'll be drawing a format for simple cash book. Okay, now just see. Date, particulars, then we have voucher number, Then we have GF. We have amount column. Then we'll repeat this here also. Okay. In the books of, what was the name of the company? It was a books of Arun Basu. So we'll write in the books of Arun Basu. What we are doing, cash book. Single column. Okay, this is the format. Now just see. We move to the question. The question says that on the cash book started on 2016 on January 1. So what I will do, I'll first write the year 2016 on both the amount columns. Okay. That we are recording transactions relating to 2016. Now on first January 1, what we have seen, that we have a cash in hand. As I've told you that in case of cash book, all types of cash book, the cash column will have always a debit balance. And how we record debit balance, we know that it should be recorded, the opening balance should be written as balance BD. The balance was of rupees 400. So we wrote 400 here. ठीक, इसके लिए आपको कोई नरेशंस नहीं लिखने पड़ते. ओपनिंग एंट्रीज में कोई नरेशंस कभी नहीं होते. The second, you sold goods. Is it a payment or a receipt? First tell me.
Sir, receipt.
Receipt.
Because we're getting cash.
Yeah, it's a receipt. Next, collection from D Dev. Payment or receipt?
Receipt.
Receipt.
Sir, receipt, sir, receipt.
उसके बाद purchase goods for cash.
Payment. Sir.
Payment, sir.
Payment.
Paid Ahmed.
Sir.
Payment. Sir.
Payment.
Commission paid to agent.
Payment.
Payment.
Purchased office furniture from D
Payment.
Basu. 800.
Payment, sir.
It is a payment,
Payment,
but
sir,
it
payment.
will not be recorded in cash book. Oh, sorry.
Purchase book, sir.
Yeah, it will not be recorded in cash book because it's a credit purchase of furniture. It should be recorded in
Purchase.
Purchase
Journal
debit.
proper,
Journal.
sorry.
Journal proper.
yeah, it will
Journal
be recorded in journal proper क्योंकि purchase day book records only credit purchase of goods. I'll tell you about that when we'll do purchase day book and others. But for now, remember that it is recorded in the journal proper. Next, paid rent, payment or receipt.
Payment. Sir.
Payment. Paid.
Electricity charges paid, payment or receipt.
Payment. Sir.
Payment.
For now, just cut this word. It should not be by check because we are drawing a simple cash book. मुझे simple cash book का एक question आपको दिखाना है इसलिए I'm changing this question. Okay? It's a payment, हाँ? Withdrew
Yes, sir.
cash for personal use, payment or receipt?
Contra entry.
Contract yoga, sir.
Contra entry.
Uh, Withdrew cash for
No,
personal
sir,
use.
it's a drawing. It's a drawing.
It's a payment.
It's a payment.
Cash sales.
So receipt.
Receipt.
Collection from C. Chandra.
Receipt.
Paid staff.
Receipts.
Payment.
Receipts.
Payment. Paid staff salaries.
Okay. Now all the P's will be appearing on the credit side and all the R's will be appearing on the debit side. This is what we know from here. So now the second Jan, it will be recorded on the debit side. Sold goods. So I am writing Jan 2. Jan 2 sales account. Now below this you have to write being goods sold for cash. The amount was for 3,200.
Is it necessary to write for cash? Like it's a cash book, so it's understood, right?
Yeah, it's understood that you have written it out here because it has been, it's a cash transaction. But this is just because of a reflex action that we have. I used to write like this in journal entries now, so this is the habit that I write it here also. Okay. It's not like that if you don't write for cash, it won't be recorded out here. If you just write being goods sold, you can record it. Next, collection from D Dev. Again, you have to record it on debit side. Jan 3 to D Dev account. Why we are recording? Being cash received from
D Dev.
What was the amount that we have received? 2,000. Next, purchase goods for cash. Now we have to come on the payment side. 8th Jan. By purchase account. The amount is 2,100. Narration. Being goods purchased for cash. Okay, next. Paid Ahmed, our creditor 700. Jan 11. By Ahmed account. $700. Will write like being cash paid to creditor. Next, again commission paid 13 January. So Jan 13 will write by commission account. How much was the figure? 420. Right narration being commission paid. Next, office furniture will not be recorded. Jan 20 paid rent, so we'll record it. Jan 20 by rent account. Figure was 250. We'll write 250 and we'll write here being rent paid. Electricity charges paid 180. The date is Jan 21. By electricity charges account, or you can write just electricity account. 180. Okay, here we have to write being electricity Charges paid. Due cash for personal use. The entry is drawings to cash. So we have to write on the credit side Jan 24 by drawings account. It being cash withdrew for personal use. Okay. Okay, the next one. Cash sales. So we come on the debit side. Jan 26 to sales account. The amount was 2,500. Again wrote the narration being
goods sold for cash.
Yeah. The next is collection from C Chandra. The date was 28, 350 rupees. So Jan 28
to C Chandra account.
Account 350 being cash collected. So you can write being cash received. Okay. Last is paid staff salary 30th January. Go to 30th Jan credit side, write by salary. Salaries account, or you can write salary account. $1,800 being salary to staff paid. Okay. Now what we need to do, we need to balance the accounts. First here what we'll do, we'll total the debit side. The same value needs to be here also. So I'm copying this cell here. Now I have to find the balance on Jan 31 by balance CD. Okay. Just check 8450 minus 6650. We should have 1800 as a balance, na?
Yes, sir, it's coming 1800.
Now just bring
Yes,
it
sir,
down.
it is 1800.
Fab 1 to balance BD 1800. Okay, this is the complete solution for your given cash flow. and it is known as simple column cash book. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.